Please tell me I got that on camera. What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be working on our 2006 Nissan Xterra, and we're going to be addressing the strangest check engine light I've ever experienced. Alright, so what makes this check engine light the strangest check engine light I've ever had? Well, for starters, you can see here that the check engine light is on, but it doesn't always stay on. It's the weirdest thing. But actually that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is occasionally when we're driving down the road, we will have intermittent stalls. And basically what that means is the check engine light and the four-wheel drive light will actually turn on. They'll blink really quick and you'll feel a loss of power as you're driving. Another symptom that we've had is the car just takes forever to start. It'll just crank and crank and crank, but it'll never actually start. So since I do have the check engine light on right now, I was able to scan the computer and I got a P0335, which is a crankshaft position sensor, and that's located in here inside the wheel well by the side of the engine. Now I did do some research online, and it looks like if I do need to replace that sensor, I should also replace the two camshaft sensors. There's one behind each cylinder head. If you have a code for either of these two sensors, there seems to be a general understanding that I should replace all three sensors. So if you have something like a P0340 or a P0345, you should consider replacing all of them. The nice thing is that all of these sensors are pretty inexpensive. I think I paid $150 for all of these, and that's because I got them aftermarket. If you go OEM, I think it was somewhere around $350. Not too bad for sensors, but with all that said, let me go ahead and set you guys up. I'm going to go ahead and start over here with the crankshaft position sensor, and then we'll make our way over to the camshaft sensors. Alright you guys, so I have removed the wheel. To access the camshaft sensor, we got to dig in here, so I'm going to remove this to kind of give us better room. To do so, there's 5 screws, 1, 2, 3 here, and there's going to be 2 over here. Then there's 2 8mm screws up here. There's 1 and there's 2. You should also see maybe some clips holding it in, but it looks like some of mine are missing, so let me get this out of the way and then we'll carry on with the removal of the sensor. Alright you guys, now that we have the inner fender lining removed, we can come over here and you can see the crankshaft position sensor is right behind this rubber grommet. All you gotta do is just pull it back. That exposes the 10mm socket, which you will need to remove just to get the sensor out. And then gotta push in this clip to remove the harness. I'm gonna need 2 hands, so give me just a quick sec. Alright you guys, so here we have the new one on the left and the old one on the right. They look pretty similar. The only interesting thing is the new one has an O-ring, whereas the OEM one didn't. But let's get rid of that and install the new one. Alright you guys, so there we have the crankshaft position sensor installed. From here we're going to move up to the crankshaft position sensor on the passenger side. This thing is supposed to be back here behind the head, right underneath this hose. So this guy here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you guys in here, see if I can actually find it. So if I can get my camera to focus, I think that's it right there. This guy right here. Alright you guys, so now that we have the sensor out of its location, we got to remove it from this harness, and this has proven to be pretty difficult, but it seems like we got to push this little thing all the way in while removing the whole housing of the plug away that way from the sensor. So let me see if I can do this. Alright, so it looks like I heard a click, and now this thing's all the way down, and now let's see if we can separate it. Yeah. Please tell me I got that on camera. Alright YouTube, so here we have the new sensor. Looks almost identical to the old one. Man oh man, am I not gonna pretend that that was not a pain to get out. All the YouTube videos that I watched, they were right, it's very difficult. But ultimately, I got it out, and the trick is to kind of make sure you squeeze that little clip all the way in and then pull out. As you guys saw earlier, I had to use some pliers, so that worked out. But enough of that, time to get started on reinstalling the new one. Nice and snug. Time to reconnect this connector. I believe this guy went down. There we go. All right, we are 2/3 of the way there. Let's go ahead and remove the next one and get you guys set up. This one should be a lot easier. All right, so like I said before, this driver's side one should be a lot easier. Let's see if we can find it right off the bat. I believe it's going to be right here. Don't know how well you guys can see that. This guy right here. Yeah, that 10mm socket right there. So let me grab my wrench and let's get started. Alright, there's the bolt. Time to pop this guy out. Alright, so similar to the last one, I'm going to go ahead and pinch this in with the pliers and then pull this guy out. Got it. Alright you guys, so similar to all the other sensors, this one here is the new one, this one here is the old one. Just want to check, make sure that they're similar. This particular one is almost identical, so let me go ahead and get this installed. Nice and snug. Let's clip this guy back in. The way to tell how this goes in is the clip should be facing down. So alright, there we go. Nicely plugged in, nice and tight. And that wraps this thing up. Alright you guys, so it's been a couple of weeks and a few hundred miles since I finished this repair. The check engine light has not come back on and all those weird issues have gone away. So I think this was a successful repair. Now I did want to give some last minute thoughts on this repair. The driver's side camshaft sensor was super easy to get to as expected, but I wasn't able to get as good of a view as I was on the passenger side. Thankfully they are very similar. The thing with the passenger side is if you can figure out a way to get the sensor exposed over here in this opening, it's a lot easier to get your pliers in there to separate the sensor from the wiring harness. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up. If it helped you in any way, please also hit that thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.